Good morning everyone and welcome back to another video. Today is Sunday. This weekend is flying, it's going so quickly, but it's been such a great one. We've been doing so much around the house. We're having a really good homey kind of a weekend, but I thought I'd pick up my vlogging camera since I didn't post a vlog last week or the week before. So I really hope that you enjoyed our wedding video, because I wouldn't have spoken to you since then. So I really hope you enjoyed that. It was a little bit nerve-wracking posting that, because obviously your wedding is something so personal, and I just decided that you had been with me on the whole process planning the wedding, so I wanted to share the whole wedding video with you as well. There is actually another video, there's a longer one, so I'm interested to see whether you'd like to see that one as well. Or if you're completely bored and you don't want to hear any more about weddings. So please do let me know, so I know, because I don't know unless anybody tells me whether you would like to see that or not. And then last week I posted that really fun wardrobe challenge, which, oh my gosh, I had so much fun doing that, and I just let my creative juices roll. It was also lovely to do because in this time where we're probably being a little bit more conservative and not spending as much on our wardrobes, to actually go and dig in my wardrobe and see exactly what I have and what I can do with it, which I might not do on a everyday basis. So it was a lot of fun. So thank you to everybody that's been so positive about that video, and if you haven't seen it, I will link it so that you can go and watch it, because it's really fun. Even towards the end of the video you will see that I even got in character. It excited me so much. So this evening we're going to be doing our Lebanese marrows, which I did post in my lockdown what I eat in a day video. I think that's where I posted my recipe, so when I show you what's cooking downstairs, then I'll link that video so that you can go and have a look at that full recipe, because I won't take you through the whole recipe a second time around, it's not necessary. But so delicious, and we haven't had it since then, I don't think, so it's going to go down well this evening. Then Ryan's just reminded me that we've got our Zoom call with his family at 1, so that'll be our third Zoom call of the weekend, which is really great, because I don't know, I feel like you're actually able to check in with more people than you would on a normal weekend if you do all these Zoom calls, and you get to see all your favorite people that are planted all around the planet. So it's quite nice to do that. So anyway, I can't be sitting on a Zoom call with his grandparents sitting in my sports bra, so I'd better get ready. Right, so we just had our little meeting with Ryan's family, which was very sweet. It always is. It's so nice that right throughout lockdown we've been able to meet with his family. So it's been fun. It's always really good to just catch up with everyone, see how everyone's doing. But I didn't quite get a chance to do my lipstick before I had to run down, so I'm gonna quickly do that now, because I feel like my pale lips are I don't know, paling me out a little bit. So I've got this Lancome, this is a L'Absolu Rouge, and it's a red, it's beautiful red, so I'm gonna use that. Nice and bold, I think it will go well with the stripes and the scarf. So let me stop talking and put that on. It smells like pressed rose, it's so pretty. There we are, all done. That was quick and easy. So if you're looking for a nice red lipstick, I would highly recommend this little Lancome one. It is so good, and the smell, it's so lovely. Speaking of smells, I haven't done perfume yet, and I should probably be sorting through my perfumes, because I've got so many and I really need to do a clear out of those. So perhaps I should pull out a few of those and we can go through them. Alright, so I have a lot of fragrances, and it's not necessarily a good thing because fragrances actually expire. So if you have too many, chances are rather than finishing them all, you're going to end up throwing them out. So it's really not advisable. It's a real shame, but it is what it is. I'm a huge lover of fragrances. I have been my whole life. I love a scent, any kind of perfume. I love scented candles. Oh, I love fragrance so much, always have. And when it comes to perfume, I think my first memory of fragrance is when I used to sit in my mom's room while she was getting ready in the mornings and watching her put together beautiful outfits, and then the final touch was always her fragrance. And it means so much to me to have watched this woman put together her whole outfits and finish it off. So I really love it. And my personal experience of my first fragrance goes back to a flight that I did. I must have been about 8 years old. In fact, I think I was about 8 years old. I flew down to Durban to go and stay with my godparents for a school holiday, and I flew down on my own. So I happened to sit next to a lady on the plane that was from Estee Lauder, and in her handbag, as you would expect from somebody that works at Estee Lauder, she had quite a few fragrances, and she pulled out a miniature of Estee Lauder Pleasures, and I will never forget that, and I will never forget the fragrance. And the fragrance has two meanings to me. Firstly, it's that one because of a very, very kind lady that gave me as a little girl a little miniature perfume to be my first perfume. And also it has significant memories for me because it was actually my mom's fragrance too. So very special. So Estee Lauder Pleasures will always be a very pleasurable memory for me. But when it came to getting a little bit older, I think I was about 16, I started getting into my perfumes. Then, as I think we all do when we're about that age, you know, we start buying these scented, what are they called, body sprays. You know, you start wanting to smell nice and sweet, and there are very cute little fragrances for young girls, which I love. And then at 16, my dad bought me my first, you know, big bottle of perfume as a Christmas gift one year, and he bought me Lancome Hypnose, which was a phenomenal gift. I don't know how that came to be. I really have no idea. Maybe I had smelled it and I told him that I really enjoyed it. I don't know. But anyway, so as a million years later, I obviously still have my Lancome Hypnose. I'm definitely a repeat fragrance wearer, and I think most of us are. You know, once you find a fragrance that really I don't know, encapsulates everything you love about a fragrance, you tend to repeat it, and I think that's only natural. And it's also nice to have that signature fragrance because when you are out, people tend to associate that fragrance with you. So it's a very personal thing, and that's also why it's really tough to buy a person a fragrance that is not of their choice, because it is so personal and it is down to such specific taste that it's quite difficult to do. That being said, playing with fragrance is also a lot of fun too. So anyway, I have restocked on my Lancome Hypnose ever since my dad bought me my first one when I was 16. I've been through numbers of bottles and I still love it. It transports me to all those memories from the early days of me wearing it, and it's a beautiful fragrance. So I have to say, before I go any further and you wonder what kind of fragrances I'm into, I'm not into floral fragrances at all. I love something with a vanilla base, something a little bit musky. I like a little bit of spice. Yeah, so I think it would be like fruity, vanilla-y, and spicy. Those would probably be my favorites. I believe, I stand to be corrected, but I believe that is an oriental scent. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. We can all learn from this. So that one is my first fragrance of my absolute favorites that I've pulled out here, because I'm only going to take you through my absolute favorites. I mean, there's no time for any that aren't my favorites. Then moving on to another fragrance that I'm kind of repeating, but not really. It's the Giorgio Armani C. So I've got the original C, and then I've got the Passionate as well. And this, I can remember vividly being on a ferry between England and France, and when you're going through that, well, when you're going on that ferry, you have a duty-free shopping area, because obviously you're transporting from one country to another, and you can go and shop in their duty-free perfume area, and I always loved C. From that moment I always enjoyed it. So this is when I say that a fragrance can trigger a memory that leads you to a place, not necessarily a person, because here it was me enjoying this fragrance, but it was in a foreign place. So it's amazing how the memory stores all these little bits and pieces of information, but and then a fragrance triggers it. And so I love this one. You can definitely smell a vanilla musky base really, really nicely. And then the Passionate, I don't know how to explain it differing, other than maybe it's a little bit fruitier. I'm not quite sure how to describe that, but they are different. They're similar, but they are very different as well. So if you like one, you will like the other, but they are different. I don't know how else to explain that. Okay, the next one I'm definitely a repeater of, a huge favorite. You may even, if you've been watching my videos for a very long time, you might remember that I did a video about these fragrances. And this is Thierry Mugler's Alien. As you can see, I've got 2 on the go here. I'm very, very nearly finished this one, and then I've got this one as well. And you can buy refills for them, and you can also take them to what they call the source, and they'll refill your bottle in store, and then you have the benefits of not paying full price of a new fragrance, because what you're really doing is recycling your bottle, which is something we should all be doing, and I wish all perfumeries did exactly the same thing, because there's no need, if you know that you love a fragrance and you're going to continue buying that fragrance for the rest of your life, there's no need to buy more packaging, there's no need to cause more waste. So I love the fact that they did that, and you can go and have your bottles refilled with your fragrance, and it's a great thing to do. So I love this. This is a very spicy fragrance. This is definitely not for everyone, but it is a striking fragrance. You'll be able to smell it a mile away, and oh my goodness, I think this is probably my favorite fragrance of all time. I absolutely love it, actually so much so that I'm going to wear it today. Oh my goodness. And this is another thing, you should never wait to wear your favorite fragrance. You mustn't be afraid of wasting your fragrance, because they do expire. So if you've got a fragrance, you need to wear it, you need to enjoy it, you need to love it, you need to live it, you need to embrace it, just enjoy it, because you really don't want it to go bad because you are savoring it. Yeah, that would be a travesty really. Okay, then another one that I've got is YSL or Yves Saint Laurent Black Opium. This one is a really, really great one. This is another fragrance that's been so popular over the years that they keep bringing out derivatives of it. But this Black Opium, it's beautiful, absolutely stunning fragrance. It's quite a fruity base in comparison to what I have been speaking about. It's really beautiful. I don't know how to describe it. It's lighter than the others, surprisingly. I always thought it was like quite a dramatic fragrance, but it seems in comparison to what I'm currently wearing, it seems a little bit lighter, a little bit fruitier. So anyway, these are gorgeous fragrances. Then I've got my wedding fragrance. This is Lancome's Lilea Belle, another favorite of mine. It has always been a favorite of mine. For the wedding, I was wondering what to use, and initially I thought I'd probably wear C by Giorgio Armani, but then I thought, okay, well, my actual favorite fragrance is Alien, but then I thought, it's, you know, it's such a bold fragrance. I don't know if it's so bridal, and perhaps I wanted something new and something very gentle and just, you know, lovely, just lovely. That's all I wanted. So my dear friend Irina bought me this for my bridal shower, and it was such a beautiful gift. She had actually asked me beforehand what I was thinking of wearing, and I said, well, I was thinking about perhaps wearing Lilea Belle, and she went and bought me the big size. She wasn't playing around. Oh, Irina, thank you so much. This is just the most beautiful gift, and I did in fact wear it on my wedding day. This is a sweet fragrance. It's not like the others. It's very sweet. I don't know, this is like a classy, demure, rose I love as well. I think that there might be a little bit of rose in the Black Opium and in the Passionate. But this one is just a gentle, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Oh, I love it. It's so beautiful. So those are the fragrances that I've pulled out for now. Let me know what your favorite fragrance is. Do you have a particular one that you keep going back to, or are you not committed to one and you like to switch between? Because I would just love to know. And as somebody that enjoys fragrance, I'm always interested in what everybody else likes and enjoys, and I'm always going to go and try it out. If you make me a recommendation, I'm always going to try it out. So let me know what's your favorite. So now for the rest of today, I think I'm going to be sorting out some laundry. How riveting. But I've got all clean linen here that also smells amazing, because I don't know if I've mentioned on here, I might have, I'm not sure. I definitely mentioned on my Instagram stories, but the new Comforts, what is it called, Amber, it might be called Amber fabric softener. Oh my word, it makes my whole house smell so beautiful when I use it, when I'm doing a lot of laundry, and I love it. So if you're looking for something to make your clothes smell really beautiful and your linen really beautiful, and it lasts, which is nice, because tonight when I climb into bed, I'll be able to smell the fabric softener on my sheets and everything. So really loving that. So I'm gonna need to put those away. I've also got some laundry hanging on the washing line that I need to put away, and not really sure what else is going on today. I mean, it's a real homebody day, but those are the best kind of Sundays. Yeah, so I'll take it as it comes. I also need to check on the cooking, because we want that to be delicious for this evening, and I did mention that I would show you, so I won't forget, I promise. All stuffed and ready for the tomato sauce and to simmer for a good couple of hours. Tomato base in, and we are ready to simmer. So in addition to the marrows or courgettes, whatever you call them, that I'm making for dinner, I thought maybe I should show you my absolute go-to sweet treat for during the week. Ryan and I absolutely love these. They're oat cookies, really, so that's the original recipe, but I've adapted it so much since the original recipe and I've made it my own. So I think I'm going to make those because we don't have a batch for this week, and normally we have a batch every single week. They are pretty healthy sweet treats. They're not the healthiest, but they're pretty healthy. So I'm quite happy to make them for when that sweet craving hits during the week, or they're just really, really nice with a cup of coffee. It's just a really lovely thing to have in the house, and also nice to know what the ingredients are, because you never know when you've got something store-bought in the house. You don't really know how good they are for you, and generally they've got a whole bunch of additives that you don't need in your body. So I think I'll make those. If you like dark chocolates and cranberries, then you will love this recipe, and it's so easy to make. I literally put everything in the food processor. So yeah, if you're interested in that, I'm going to show you how to make them really, really quickly. I've just thrown on a jacket, so excuse me while I look ridiculous. I've got my oats over here, and first things first, we're going to be putting in 2.5 cups of oats straight into the processor. Then we are doing 2 cups of flour. One teaspoon of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence, some salt. Now, because we don't eat eggs and we try to stay as plant-based as possible, I'm going to skip any sort of eggs. What I normally do is take the liquid from 1 tin of chickpeas, and that gives me roughly the quantity of 2 eggs as a binding agent, and it works really well. So I would highly recommend trying this if you haven't already. Next I have half a cup of, well, it's actually 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I'm using treacle sugar, but you can use any sugar that you like. Lastly, I'm adding in 1 cup of oil. You can use any oil you want. Coconut oil is probably best for this recipe, but just because I have this oil out, so I'm using it, and it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Okay, I've tipped out what was in the food processor. So this is our nice cookie oat blend, and then I have got some dried cranberries, which I'm going to mix in now, together with a slab of the Lindt chocolate raspberry intense. This is a dark chocolate. You can use any dark chocolate you like, but because I'm throwing in cranberries, this raspberry intense is a really nice complementary flavor. So I'm going to mix in those two, and my lovely husband's mashed up this chocolate bar already. I'm going to be baking it in my Le Creuset casserole dish, which works really nicely. You don't need to line it or anything, and it works perfectly fine. So let me mix this up, and then we're ready to pop it in the oven. So this is the final product before we head to the oven. Just like that, we're all done. Just going to sprinkle with a little bit of salt as they're cooling down, which is a really nice thing to do to give them a great deal of flavor. So I'm going to leave that to cool down while we go and have our dinner. And for dinner this evening, we have got our stuffed courgettes, seasoned rice, and then we've got a cauliflower parmesan. Delicious. And the finish of this evening looks delicious.